Hello, welcome. I am so stoked to get to show you a little behind the scenes of my business today. I personally find it super interesting when I get to see how other people sort of organize and systematize their business. So I wanted to show you into the back end of my Asana. Asana is the program that I started, or the software, I guess, that I started using maybe 6-ish months ago to organize my business. Before that, I was a diehard paper planner type girl. And then realized I sort of had the nagging feeling for quite a while that there was probably a better, more high-tech way to do things than toting around a big simplified planner all the time, as cute as they are. So I ended up getting on Asana and have been super happy with it. I organize my whole business, my life, all the things, both my tasks and my calendar inside Asana. And I'm going to show you exactly how I go about doing that. So here we are. This is what I pretty much come to every day. And then from here I start at the beginning of every day. I drag and drop my different tasks into order to sort of remind me of what I should be doing when and sort of in what order all these things happen in a day. So you'll notice right now I am working on how I use Asana to organize my business, behind the scenes look at how I use Asana. So this is just pretty much, this is what I'm up to today. Very thrilling day. Now I want to show you how all of my bits and pieces in Asana are organized, because there's quite a few different sort of like projects that I have going on in here, because there's lots of different pieces to my business. So now when it comes to setting this up, I will admit that I went into Asana, I think it was like over a year ago now, and tried doing, I had like one web design project that I was working on, and I was like, okay, normally I just have this like notes, this list of like sort of to-dos for each website design client in my notes app on my Mac, which was super inefficient. And so I decided to try Asana and use it, and I had the whole back end just completely confused me, and I admit it wasn't super intuitive. So I ended up actually taking Megan Minz's Asana HQ course, and that is what actually sort of explained all the different terminology and how exactly you should set this thing up. So this is what helped me figure out sort of this situation on the side here. So I have a few different teams, and again, I was confused by the whole teams aspect at the beginning because I am a one-woman business, and so it was kind of odd. Like, I didn't assume teams applied to me because I'm just one person, but apparently they do. Anyway, so here's how I have it set up. I have an executive tab, and so this one is just me, all the important sort of executive tasks that have to be done in my business, like taxes, legal stuff, all those good things. So I have my executive tasks here. In there I won't show you into that one. In that one, I have things like every month I track my statistics and my finances. And then annually, I'm doing things like my taxes, super thrilling things like that. Goals is every quarter I set myself financial goals, goals of sort of like growth in my business, projects that I want to have completed. And so in the goals area, that's where I'm noting out all of those goals. I previously used to write my goals in a Google Doc, and while that was useful, I realized that at the end of the year, that was the only time that I went and actually, when I made my goals for the next year, that was the only time that I went and actually checked all my goals from the past year. And if you're not actually checking in with them, you just forget your goals and you forget what you're supposed to be working on. So what I've done is I've set my goals as tasks in Asana, and then I set them, I set dates for them so that on that date I'm reminded to sort of like look back and check in and like, have I worked on that goal? Have I finished that thing? And so that is, I actually keep track of my goals in Asana, and I have to say it's super effective at actually making sure that I check in and see if I'm actually doing things correctly, which is awesome. Then I have my services area. In here, I have my clients that I'm currently working on, as well as templates. So for every web design project that I take on, I have like a whole list of different things that need to happen. The different aspects, sort of the process of a website design. And so I have these templates here. And then what I do is when I take on a new client, I copy it. I duplicate the template. I add in the client's name, and then I start assigning dates to to all of the different tasks based off whatever like design date they chose with me. So yeah, that's how that all works. I also have a potential clients area. And that is where when someone inquires with me, often in the past, I knew I should follow up with the person, but I would just straight up forget to do it. So now I put down the potential client's name, and then I set again, say if I'm like, okay, I want to make sure I follow up with this person 2 weeks after we originally spoke, I set the date for the task to be 2 weeks away. And then I'm reminded to actually get back in touch with that person. So that is what the services area looks like. In terms of products, I have the different products that I've created or will be creating. And then this actually, let me take you into this one. This one, so you can have like list view. Square Secrets is like pretty much done. So the only other things I have is like relaunching situation is in here right now. Back when I was creating this course, there was a lot in here, and I'll take you to the calendar area to show you that. 1 second. I'm gonna show weekends. I was unfortunately working on it on the weekends as well. So as you can see, when you have it in calendar view, this was what my life looked like when I was building this course. So yeah, it had like each of the different modules that I was creating. It covered like content creation and the whole like marketing aspect of things. And I did have a virtual assistant help me while I was working on the course launch. So I've assigned tasks to her in here as well. And so sometimes I choose to see things in list view, but when it comes to the building the course situation, I was often actually looking at it in calendar view. And that was super helpful. So on my tasks area, I could see like what's happening that day, but then say I want to be like, oh, I want to know what's happening sort of like later this week, what else I'm supposed to be working on course-wise. I would come over to my course-specific project, open it up in calendar view and sort of see what was happening here. And that's so easy because I could just like click and drag. If something just like I realistically knew it was not going to happen that day, it wasn't going to get done, I would just click and drag these tasks onto different days, and it's so much more efficient than using a paper planner in terms of like moving and organizing tasks. And you can also see like if I had 15 tasks on one day, I was like, okay, that's straight up not realistic. I need to sort of like spread these out over different days, and the clicking and dragging of that was so super helpful. So that's what products looks like. I also have marketing, and I'm going to show you into say like my editorial calendar. This is another one which I tend to look at calendar view a lot. So every time I collect blog post ideas over here, and so that I just have as one big giant list. So I add to that constantly, like on the go on the Asana app on my phone. Also, when people send me emails with questions, I generally turn those questions into blog post ideas. So once a month, I have it set in my Asana in my executive area to go through and to plan out my editorial calendar. So my process for that is I come into the blog post idea area, and I sort of look through, weed through like the terrible ones and the okay ones and the good ones, find what I'm really excited to write about, and I move that task over to my blog post editorial calendar area. And then I just start clicking and dragging these into the different dates that I want to write the posts on. So that is what my editorial calendar looks like. Marketing. Personal, these are just like people's like birthdays and stuff that I should probably not forget to do or not to forget to like buy them presents and those sorts of things. Also things like, I don't know, doctor's appointments or dentist appointments, they all get put in there. So it shows up in my whole like Asana area. Also, I don't think I have, actually this one should be, I haven't done it yet, but I should do it. So say I also add tags. Where can I do that? Tags. Another thing which I tend to do is if I have something happening, which I haven't done, look at me, I'm bad. This is super helpful. So say something is happening like at a specific day and time, and therefore I need to, all of these other tasks, like this can happen whenever, it doesn't really matter. But for these certain things, it's like I have a phone call at 4:30 p.m. and I'm going to the beer garden at 6. So those are specific events and times and places that I need to be somewhere with other humans. I generally add the events tag to it, and then I can click on the events tag, open it up in calendar view, and that sort of actually like shows me my calendar of like when I need to be where, which is pretty sweet. So that's personal. And then last one is operations. As I onboard, like say a virtual assistant, what I have started doing is creating video tutorials, kind of like this, where I show exactly how I do all the different bits and pieces in my business. And then instead of, doing that for a bunch of different people or whatever, I can just create a tutorial, leave all the how-to tutorials in there, and then say if I have a new virtual assistant come on to help me, say with the launch of something, that I can be like, okay, head into the how-to tutorials area. It's linked to all the different videos that talk about how to set up an email in my email marketing system and send it to the correct people on my email list. So those are all the different bits and pieces of my Asana. So I hope that was beneficial for you to see sort of how I do things and organize things. I do admit, coming into Asana, again, the first time that I did it wasn't as straightforward and obvious to figure out as I had maybe at first expected it to be. So I did actually take Megan Minz's Asana HQ course, which I will link for you below this video, in case you're interested to also jump on the Asana train, but it's a little confusing for you. Then that helped me sort of set up this whole system, which saved me a ton of time. And I can definitely attest that I'm a super happy Asana user. It is way better than my paper planner or anything else I'd ever tried before. It really keeps me on track. And the best part is, like, every single day when I'm working on things, I just have generally, a bunch of tabs, as we all do, open here. But I always have my Asana open up in the top left tab. And then as we get sucked down the rabbit hole of the internet, as we always often do, I can quickly come back to my Asana tab, see everything in order, and be like, oh shoot, I'm not working on the right thing. This thing on the top of my today is what I should be working on. So yeah, that's how I organize everything. I hope that was helpful for you.